every day, and it's really always good to be together when the mic works. I love that. But you know what? Whether the mic works or not, we are here to be heard and seen and known, and you could be anywhere, but you came. You came on this day, a day where so many of our hearts are breaking, and so many of us are holding in our bodies, in our spirits, in our psyche, trauma and fear. Right? Amen. But you have puffballs. And if you don't have one, we're going to make sure you get one. I am the Reverend Dr. Beth Johnson. My pronouns are she, they, and it is good, beloveds, to be with you this morning. I'm going to invite you to take a breath with me. Many of us have maybe been holding our breath or hyperventilating, yet here we are in sanctuary, in community. I'm going to invite you to just remain seated and sing with me, gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Your voices swelled with the gathering and invitation of spirit. Dave.
Good morning. Welcome to this place of peace, justice, and hope. Somebody help me. Something. Oh. Now I remember me.
Good morning. I'm Pam Fodor, Director of Programs, and my pronouns are she and hers. And I am here to remind you that our annual auction is just 1 week away, well, less than a week actually, this coming Saturday, November 16th, starting at 5 o'clock. We are getting super excited. We have over 160 items and gatherings and parties to bid on. I hope that you have followed the link in news and notes or on the website to see our catalog. There are photos of all of the items so you can read and see exactly what there is to bid on. And our live auction is also on there, so you can click and see what's on the live auction. We have a vacation package. We have a pop-up camper that sleeps 7 people. Woven scarves. We have a shopping spree at Jane's Boutique and a few other little surprises. So if you haven't already, please visit our catalog and make a list of things that you want to bid on. Do you have your ticket yet? Raise your hand if you have your ticket. Oh, very good. We will be selling them after church downstairs during coffee hour. Get yours today. They will be available at the door, but having your ticket in advance will ensure a faster check-in experience. Then on Saturday night when you arrive, please be sure to bring your checkbook or credit or debit card to pay for your winnings. But also, please tuck some cash in your pocket so that you can participate in a few extra things. Of course, you will want to tip your bartender, and you will also want to tip our photographers at our pirate ship photo booth, complete with costumes, so you can have a little fun. We will be having a split the pot raffle. The tickets will be $5 each or 6 for $20. You will want to purchase a mystery wine pick for $20. And new this year, we have these mystery pirate booty bags. Each one contains a gift card, a mystery gift card, and some other goodies worth $20. And last but not least, you will want to play our tricorn pirate booty game. It's just $5 to play. So we are super excited. Our auction team's been working really hard on this, and we will welcome you all. We hope you'll be joining us. If you're a newcomer to UCH or you're visiting today, please know that you are also most welcome to attend. These fun gatherings are a great way to get to know others better. And if there was ever a time to fund UCH and have the pleasure of each other's company, it's now. So see you Saturday on Treasure Island.
The first time I ever came into this building was for our fall event. And now look at me.
Oh, no, don't do that. Whatever happened, I don't know. Yeah, I will just point out that generally I am standing behind the pulpit, but I actually like being down here and feeling close to you. You'll see that I'm hobbling around, and I broke my foot. I know, and I want to say I broke it fighting fascists. It's my story. It's a little accident in the home, but make no mistake about it. Beloveds, we will fight. Not sure I'll be kicking people, but with every fiber of my being. As we hear about the things that are going on around our congregation, as Pam said, gathering together, being together, building community, funding our church so that we can do the work that love calls us to do. Yes, absolutely, and that's how we'll do it, with joy and exuberance in all of our voices. This service, we're going to have times to breathe and sing, listen to stories, and just build our sense of community and deepen our sense of community. I'm going to go ahead and invite you into some breath work. This is what we know. As I said earlier, sometimes when we're anxious, we hold our breath or we hyperventilate. Is that only me? No, there's other people who do that, yeah. And what we want to be able to do, now breath work isn't for everyone, and if it's not for you, then just go ahead and just be. You don't have to sing, you can just be, you can feel your body on the chair, lean into the person that you're here with, whatever you need to do. But our song is the meditation on breathing. It's number 1009 in your teal hymnal. It's going to begin with a drone, and then there's a melody. And for some of you who may know the song well, there's a descant that you can sing. So we're going to start with the drone. We're just going to breathe in, breathe out slow, breathe in, breathe out. out, you can do whichever part you want. I breathe in peace when I breathe out. I breathe out love when I breathe in. I breathe in peace when I breathe out. I breathe out love. But this is what we know. We are a faith that says we put love at the center. And so in these times, what are we called to do? But to love and let that love guide us. So just invite you to sing with me.
The symbol of our church and our congregation, with these words. It is not always easy to find love at the center. So for today, we gather in covenant to celebrate the reality that love is at the core of our beings. And that love will guide us when we open ourselves to the challenges that love requires of us. May we accept this challenge with dignity and grace.
And we will have our time for all ages, and Pam Fodor will help us out with that. You may have that. Absolutely.
All right, it would be really great if the young and young at heart could come up, please. Okay, or not. Everybody have a puffball? Okay. This? Oh, yay, come on. I know your mom's making you. It's okay. I want you to come up because I want to ask you if you know what a worry is. Hi, I haven't seen you in such a long time. I almost didn't recognize you. Welcome. Do you know what a worry is? It's kind of hard to explain, right? Like, sometimes I might have a tiny worry, like, does my breath smell like coffee? That's a little worry, right? Or maybe I have a little bit worry that's a little bit bigger, like is my daughter eating enough protein? Because she lives far away and I can't cook for her. So that's a little bit bigger worry. And then sometimes worries feel really big. Like what's going to happen in my life, or what's going to happen to the people that I love. That's a really big worry. And we're going to hear in the story today about Ruby, that's Ruby right there, and see her worry. It looks like a puffball. So that's why you have a puffball to enjoy this story. Do you have one? Oh, all right. So let's find out about Ruby.
Ruby Finds a Worry by Tom Percival. Creatively read by Miss Jill. Ruby loved being Ruby. She loved to swing up high, and she loved to explore wild, faraway places. Sometimes she even went all the way to the very bottom of the garden. Ruby was perfectly happy until one day she discovered a worry. Now, it wasn't a very big worry. In fact, it was so small that at first Ruby hardly noticed it. But then the worry started to grow. Each day it got a little bit bigger. It just wouldn't leave her alone. It was there at breakfast, staring at her over the cereal box. And it was still there at night when she brushed her teeth. The funny thing was that no one else could see Ruby's worry, not even her teacher. So Ruby pretended that she couldn't see it either. She tried to carry it off as if everything was normal, but it just wasn't. The worry always was there, stopping her from doing the things she loved. Ruby wondered if the worry would ever go away. What if it didn't? What if it stayed with her forever? Ruby didn't realize it, but she was doing the worst thing that you could ever do with a worry. She was worrying about it. Now the worry was enormous. It could barely fit in the kitchen at dinner time, and it filled up half the school bus. And it took up the whole rows at the movie theater. The worry became the only thing that Ruby could think about, and it seemed like she would never be happy again. Then one day, something unexpected happened. Ruby noticed a boy sitting alone at the park. He looked how she felt, sad. And then she noticed something else, something hovering next to him. Could it be a worry? It was. Ruby realized that she wasn't the only person with a worry after all. Other people had them too. And she asked the boy what was on his mind, and as he told her, the strangest thing happened. His worry began to shrink. Then Ruby did the best thing that you can ever do if you have a worry. She talked about it. As the words tumbled out, Ruby's worry began to shrink until it was barely there at all. Soon, both of their worries were gone. Finally, Ruby felt like herself again. Of course, that wasn't the last time that she ever had a worry. I mean, everybody gets them from time to time. But now that she knew how to get rid of them, they never hung around for very long. The end. Hey, if you like hearing the books that I read, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and you'll be kept up to date when I post new ones.
So I don't know about you, but I'm pretty glad that I have this church and these people to share my worries with.
And you have a puffball, which could represent your worry. So if you feel like it represents your worry, you can toss it. Or if you feel like when you hold it, it's going to be soft and not as oppressive, and it's something that you can just carry with you to bring you comfort when you have a worry. How does that sound? All right. And everyone has a worry in here. I mean, maybe you do, but not the kids didn't just get worries. Everybody got worries because we all need that support. So will you help me join and sing our kids out to their classes? As you go, may joy surround you. As you go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go. Joy surround you. As you go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go. Do it from here? Okay. He took my book.
We know that our financial contributions to this congregation come from sacrifice and hard work. We're so grateful for this and commit together to ensure that the funds we gather collectively do a greater good for ourselves and our world than they could have done alone. Each month, we take an offering to benefit a nonprofit that supports and aligns with our mission. This month, it goes to Bail Out Benj, that is dedicated to ending puppy mill cruelty through research, education, and advocacy. And here's a video of their work.
I will spend my days between the blue of the sky and the warmth of the sun. And you know I have my ways when the rain starts to come, and I hide away in my dreams.
I'm Dana from Bailing Out Benji, the Nebraska chapter. We are protesting in 2 different locations in Omaha, Nebraska today that have pet stores that sell puppies, which we know that 99% of pet store puppies come from puppy mills.
Don't give me pain, right clouds of rain, just give me love instead. Give me
So we are an organization that does public education, teaching people about the sourcing of where these puppies come from and what that means.
now.
In addition to Bailing Out Benji, we have probably 12 different rescue organizations that work out of the Omaha area that are here protesting with us. These are all of the people that pull dogs, rescue dogs, get them vetted, get them healthy, and get them into good forever homes.
Adopt, don't shop.
Adopt, don't shop.
Adopt, don't shop. Don't shop, adopt. Adopt, don't shop.
Adopt, don't shop.
Adopt, don't shop.
Please.
Let there be an offering to sustain and grow the life and mission of this congregation and to support the end to such cruel treatment. May we give in love and hope.
Most people know that there are times when I'm going to invite us to breathe. Various times in our service and also in my own work in the wider community, I've been known as the breathing evangelist. And so we pause again to just be and to breathe and to be with what it is that we've brought with us today. This is a time in our service where we center, we sing, we prepare to share joys and sorrows. We acknowledge the power of sharing in community. And right now, I just invite you to feel in you what it is that you've brought with you today. And to know that even though there is the tangle of emotions and there may be worry, there is also a love that has never broken faith with you and never will, because it can't. It is the ground of our being. It is the source of our life. It is the source of creation, pulsing through us. So as you connect with your body, feel your body on the chair if that's comfortable for you. See where in your body might need the breath. Sing or say silently to yourself, when I breathe in peace. Or simply the breathe in, breathe out. And know that all of you is sacred. All that you bring is welcome. All that you are is sacred. In these moments, these times, respite from the world, but not sheltered from the world, creating a container for the spirit of life and the spirit of love, the spirit of hope and justice and peace. In a moment, we will sing an invitation for spirit to be present with us. When we sing this song, we sing it with I, but we can also, and me, we can also sing it with me and us. Knowing that this is, as much as it's an invitation for spirit to hold us close, for wings to set us free, for us to be rooted, beloved, never forget that it is simply a reminder and an acknowledgement of that spirit that is already there. So we sing, and we sing familiar songs and familiar chants so that in the times that we need them, they can sing us. Sing with me. And this is a time when if you have a joy or a sorrow, I know we have sorrows in our midst, and we've been naming them. If you have another joy or sorrow, a personal marker event that you'd like to share, you can come forward and speak a brief word or a phrase. Just want to remind you that pebbles can also be dropped in silence. And you'll take a pebble, each one is unique, signifying the uniqueness that you each are. And beloved, they are just held in a common bowl, a bowl of water, refreshing container for all that we share.
My name is Kathy. I have a joy today, and that is that my friend, who was very ill with an infection about a month ago, has recovered and is nearly himself at this point. So that makes me very happy.
I'm Kevin, and this is for our nephew Sean, who's finally coming out of his shell and getting the life that he deserves.
We're not going to sing, and I don't think he's here anyway. This week was Rajat's, I won't say what age, but Rajat's birthday.
I am Jill. As of the last time we did this, I was celebrating a new job that was my dream job, and unfortunately, last week I was let go. So I'm extremely heartbroken. So sorry.
My name is David. I have two joys. One, a couple months ago, I was up here talking about losing my wonderful dog I adopted and shopped a month ago, and got a really great little terrier rescue. Her name's Thelma. And then the other joy, amidst the sorrow, I joined Suzanne and Dave up in Milwaukee to get out the vote on Election Day. A couple other friends came along. Didn't turn out very well, but a guy, Jordan, I don't think he's here today, he happened to come with his family when Dave announced, hey, we're going up to Milwaukee, and he joined me. We carpooled with some friends of mine, got to know him, and hopefully he will be comfortable coming back here with his beautiful family.
Hi, my name is Peter, and my joy is that we have a discussion group today, and the topic is going to be the election. So hope to see a lot of people there. Thanks.
My name is Josh, and I have a joy. After a year of applying for jobs, I finally have a job now. I'm going to be a little kickers coach, so if you have any kids from 18 months to 9 years old, you can come down to the Sawmill Sports Hub and sign them up for some soccer classes, and we could teach them social skills and things like that. So an open house is December 7th and December 8th. It's in Willowbrook on Frontage Row, but if anybody wants information, I can get the information for them.
Thank you.
Dump them in. Dump them on it. I'll just pour them in. Just pour them in. For those joys and sorrows, those spoken and unspoken, we have poured all of the pebbles in the bowl because we know that we have come, all of us, with joys or sorrows, ambivalence, hopes, dreams. And so we just pause in this moment, acknowledge all that's been heard and all that is held in each of our hearts. Hearts that beat with the desire for love, for justice, with our celebrations in our personal lives. And I want to say it's Matt's birthday last week too. We celebrate our birthdays. We celebrate and we grieve. And as we do that in community, we do that knowing that in that we are also more than we would ever be alone. So take another breath with me. Spirit of life, Spirit of love, Holy One moving in, through, and among us. We pause before the next thing, reminding ourselves indeed that you are with us. We may call you to us, but that is a reminder that we are always, you are always held in love and mystery deeper than you can know. Beloveds, 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 we are together and we will rise. The third verse of the song that we're about to sing was written during the McCarthy era to protest the round of paranoia and fear. And it seemed especially appropriate for this time. I want to say that this notation was noted by my colleague, the Reverend Kim Debus, who writes about every song in each of our hymnals. And she reviewed them all and wrote about all of them. And she made this entry in November of 2016. And so, beloveds, and so it is. I invite you to rise in body or spirit, or you may stay seated and sing with me. Indeed. It may be strange to say, how can we keep from singing? How can we sing? Beloveds, I think sometimes the only thing that we can do is sing. Singing has been a part of every movement for justice. Singing is also what brings us solace and peace when we hear a beloved hymn or song. It can get our blood going, our hearts beating. It can comfort us. We need music. We need art. More than ever, we will protect art and we will sing, because this is what these times demand. The posture of singing, of standing or sitting and being present, what do you have to do when you sing? breathe. I've sung with the choir once, and we do these breath exercises. Singing brings us into our bodies. It brings us into solidarity. It brings us into the space of connectedness. These are hard times, she understated. It's bad. It's not good. It's particularly not good, even now already, for our siblings of color, for our trans siblings, for our immigrant communities. I was reminded by one of our members, Tony Metters, if I may, Harriet, who quoted Harriet. He said, as an African-American man, my mother reminded me that it's been bad before. It's been bad. This is a unique kind of bad. No, the bad is never just the same, but there are threads of similarity. It's just important to acknowledge that and to acknowledge for a moment how it feels in our bodies. Beloveds, we will have time day to day, week to week. We will make time to nurture ourselves and our community so that we may in turn nurture and nourish the world, because the world needs us. Oftentimes, when I am faced with the multiple crises that we're facing now, I return to the work of my root teacher, Joanna Macy, who is a philosopher, Buddhist systems theorist, who has taught us that there is a spiral of work that reconnects us to ourselves, to each other, to the earth. And the process of the spiral is one that I think that I experience as allowing us to move through. It is not a once and for all thing. It is something that we can find and apply to our lives. The first piece of the spiral is to come from gratitude. Now, that may seem outrageous, heretical. How can I be grateful? In the work that is ours to do, we need ourselves and our communities to be rooted, to be grounded, to know again that we are not alone and that there is still good in our lives, in our personal lives, in our work for the world. So coming from gratitude is a basic practice of the work that reconnects. If it seems like gratitude may be a little hard to access right now, you may find it if you hold your puffball, that it may remind you of something that you're grateful for. People in your life, the earth. Just connect for a moment. Right now. Can you connect with gratitude? What comes to mind? What do you see, feel, even hear? Breathe in the gratitude. And then ground yourself in your feet, on the floor below you, knowing that it connects you to the earth, and breathe that up. Coming from gratitude is not a luxury. It is a necessity in these times. It is an embracing of life. It is seeking and seeing beauty, because beauty restores us. I choose an inspiration word at the winter solstice every year, and we did that in the congregation. and I pull one every day. My word for the year is transformation, and at the time I was like, oh, what will it hold? My word for today was beauty. Beauty is restoring, it soothes, restores, revitalizes us, making it possible to go on. And hence, it must be restored to its central place in our lives and in our thoughts, in our communities, in our psyche, in our visions and dreams, and in our actions. And Solzhenitsyn said, beauty will save us. I had a gathering of folks who gathered post-election on Thursday evening. It was a small gathering. We gathered on Zoom, and we just gathered to be with one another and to talk and be silent, and some folks showed up. And Ron said, lifting up what comes from being in community with those we love is what holds him. The power of relationship. Find the gratitude. I don't mean this in a flippant way. It is a deep, deep practice. The next part of the spiral is to name and honor our pain for the world. Jan Richardson, a poet, wrote, his words are slightly adapted, weep, weep, scream, wail if you want to. There was a reason the ancients told us to rend our cloths after a loss, to cover our heads with ashes. They knew that keeping it together is overrated. Keeping it together is overrated, beloveds. There is no need to keep it together in this time. Do what you need to do in naming and honoring our pain for the world. We are real with ourselves and each other, and it doesn't stay stuck in our bodies. So if you have to wail, wail. If you need to scream, scream. If you need to cry, cry. You could do that right now. I dare you. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to scream, scream. If you need to wail, wail. You could rend your clothing, but maybe if you got a jacket you could spare. But here's the thing that Jan's wisdom teaches us, is it is an embodied thing. This naming and honoring our pain, you know it doesn't just come from your head. It comes from your body. We feel it in our body. So naming and honoring our pain for the world is our opportunity, not only to connect with us, ourselves, and what we're feeling, because that is the way we move through. And remember, beloveds, this is a spiral. We go back. So allow yourself to experience and to name that pain. Joanna Macy says, don't be afraid of the dark. It's a dark time filled with suffering and uncertainty. Like the living cells of a larger body, she writes, it's natural that we feel the trauma of our world. Don't be afraid of the anguish you feel or the anger or the fear. These are the responses from the depth of your caring and the truth of your interconnectedness. To suffer with literally means compassion. Be compassionate to yourself. Next in the spiral is to see with new and ancient eyes. Dare to vision. Out of darkness, a new world can arise. Not to be constructed from our minds. Not that there's anything wrong with our minds, but from our visions and our dreams. Even though we can't see clearly how things are going to turn out, we're still called to let the future call us with our imagination. we will never build, we'll never be able to build what we have not first cherished in our hearts. What is the vision that we seek? What is it that you imagine? I'm going to just give you the opportunity to call that out if you want. You could be brave, or you could just call it out silently, but if you want to just, what is your vision for the world you wish to see? Oneness, peace, kindness, justice, equal rights, safety, all the colors of the rainbow, honesty, compassion, equity, integrity, end to wars, joy, empathy, sanctuary. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. There's a truth beyond our knowledge. There's compassion beyond our pain. There's a spirit burning brighter. There's a love to guide our way. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, fully holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. The ancients knew with their own eyes and experience how to be a sanctuary. Our beloveds from ages past and not so past knew how to be a sanctuary. Friends, in seeing with new and ancient eyes, we draw from the past, from our history, Harriet, that you and Tony reminded me of yesterday. We have been in struggle before, beloved. Not like this. Struggles don't work like that. History repeats itself, but not quite in the same way. There will be analysis. I frankly have pages of analysis right now. How many of you have delved into the analysis? Raise your hand if you've been digging into the analysis. How did this happen? Why did this happen? It's not just one thing. Just not one thing. It's not only sexism and racism and misogyny and xenophobia and homophobia and transphobia. It's not all the phobias. It's that. It's deep despair and disenfranchisement. It is where are the poor and their voices. It's greed. It's a lot of things. So the analysis will come. And it's important that we do the analysis because we want to know. We want to know what we have a sense of what we're faced with, but we have not had this particular challenge before. We don't know exactly what we're faced with, but it has been foreshadowed. It has been foretold. It has been spoken out loud. And that's what is shocking and appalling about this time. So we be shocked and all of those things. And we will, as a community, look at how we can respond. Because believe me, I am not dismissing analysis. There's some very fine analysis out there. But in the spiral of the work that reconnects, there is a going forth. Alfred North Whitehead wrote, "The future is big, with every possibility of achievement and tragedy." How can we then hope? Will it be achievement? Will it be a tragedy? It will be both. We will win some. We will lose ground. But we will feel the ground beneath us. And we will settle on that solid ground. And we will be that ground. Not only for each other, because, beloveds, in this going forth, we will leave this sanctuary. We will go out into our lives and into our communities, and we will see and hear and hope and help. In the same meeting, Thursday night, Dave Folzer had a question, and it was, what will we do when they start rounding up immigrants? So in that very room, there was hold ourselves in community, and what will we do? We don't know just yet what we'll do. We will continue to do the ministries we have here. I mentioned them last week: prison ministry, ministry to the unhoused. We do clinic escort here. They've done it since the 90s, y'all. Clinic escort. That's decades. That's decades of work. We will continue with the Green Sanctuary to care for this earth and those most affected by environmental degradation. We have a LGBTQIA welcoming congregation. I'm gesturing at the people who lead these ministries. And we will be there. We don't quite know how we're going to do it, but there are so many. I'm going to tell you this right now, beloveds. Work is being done on the ground. There's planning. Our own Unitarian Universalist Association planned for multiple scenarios, and they planned for this one. So we're going to figure out what it is that we can do and how can we hope. Remembering, hope isn't a passive verb. It's not wishing or optimism. It's an existential condition, a disposition, if you will. Now, we're not always disposed toward hope. And certainly our hope has been tested. But we live in hope even toward that uncertain future. Because hope for me, you have heard me say many times, means I don't know the future. And so it is. We stay open to the process, even in uncertitude, because there is that in life that lures us to imagine creative possibilities that might arise in and among us. Next part of the work is we roll up our sleeves. We do what we can. Whether it's protest in the streets, continue democratic action, make the sandwiches, get the bail money, whatever it is. And here's the deal. I don't know about you, but there's been times when I think I got to do everything. Does anybody feel like that? There's a whole lot to do. Good. Eric doesn't. You can teach that to us. We are not called to do everything. That is the wisdom that has been coming out for so long, not just from this. Do what you can, where you're called, what you love, and come from that place. Waging Nonviolence wrote, before I close, 10 ways to prepare and be grounded. Trust yourself. Find others you trust. Grieve. Release what you cannot change. And he recognized that growing up, his mom had the serenity prayer posted. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And he noted that this prayer was written by Reinhold Niebuhr that came through while he was watching the rise of Nazis in Germany. Find your path. Do not obey in advance. Don't self-censor or center. unless you need to. If you're in an affected community, if you got to be afraid, then you center yourself and we'll center you. But it was actually don't censor. Reorient your political map, handle fear, and make violence rebound. And vision a positive future. This is the moment. For such a time as this, Esther wrote, and a song goes, I was placed upon the earth to do the will of love, whatever it is. This is our time. In the future, not distant future, we will gather and we will look at what is ours to do as a Unitarian Universalist congregation in Hinsdale, Illinois, in the western suburbs of Chicago, right here, and then what we can do in our state and with our lives. How does that sound? We will work together. We will hope together. We will dare together. We will vision together. We will act together, because that is what it means to place love at the center. From the UUA, beloveds, we will hold our fear together. We will honor our rage and devastation and grief. We will hold each other ferociously, tenderly, faithfully, and then we will move deliberately. We will invest in trust. We will reclaim joy, rest, and sustenance. We will resist en masse. We will fight fascism and continue the struggle for democracy. We will continue to build our movements for justice. We will focus our efforts and abandon our distractions. We will create a safe harbor for those in danger. We will leverage our resources. We will sharpen our skills and analysis. I told you we would still be doing analysis. We will act as if no person is disposable, because they are not. We will refuse the politics of division and despair. We will seek wisdom from elders and of history. We will fight for our survival, and we will create the conditions of possibility for our thriving and our liberation. May it be so, and amen. We do not know what we would do without our singing and our choir and Jamie. Thank you for the music. Please join me in our chalice extinguishing words. That's a phoenix rising, by the way. Oh. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of its truth, the warmth of this community, nor the fire of our commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with all the world. And now, beloveds, I invite you to rise in body or in spirit and sing with me. Go on, beloveds. We will, together, together, together. I invite you to rest for a moment and enjoy Jamie's closing piece to bring us out. I'll meet y'all in the back.